Jerzark. I'm from Keepme Lifestyle, and I'm here today with Charlotte Kelly from Bodicea the Victorious. We're here today to discuss the rise of luxury brands during Covid-19. We're going to look at this from two viewpoints, one from the perspective of the brand, Bodicea the Victorious, and the other from the supplier, Keepme Lifestyle. Now, we've worked with Bodicea the Victorious for over 10 years now. We've got a great relationship, and today represents a good opportunity just to discuss the last 18 months and challenges.
My name's Charlotte Kelly and I'm from Bodicea the Victorious. We are a British luxury perfume brand. We've been established for just over 12 years, and during that time we've worked enormously with Keepme to assist us with our product development. We retail in Harrods, Selfridges, online, and also in many outlets around the world. And Neil and his team have helped us to come up with some new product ideas to bring that from development into retail.
Yeah, a little bit about Keepme Lifestyle. We've been established since 2004, and we very much see ourselves as an extension of the brands that we work with. So much like Bodicea the Victorious, we've worked with a number of brands and retailers in the luxury and niche categories for a long period. And most of our customers work with us for 15 years upwards. So we see ourselves as a reactive and flexible supplier, which we'll discuss in detail later on. We're an end-to-end supplier offering the full service all the way from the design. We have an in-house design studio all the way through to the delivery to the end user, be it the consumer or the retailer. Our core categories, as you can imagine with Bodicea the Victorious, are fragrance and skincare. And yeah, it would be quite good to now discuss a little bit more about how we've encountered the challenges we've encountered over the last 12 to 18 months and what we've done.
Absolutely. Well, I think for us as a brand, the thing that we're very grateful for to Keepme is their ability to be reactive. They're a nimble business and that they're very solutions focused. So when the pandemic first hit last year and it was really starting to sort of shake the world, we had great conversations with Keepme and how we could diversify our strategy to include some new products that would resonate with the customer of that moment.
Yeah, and I think what we've seen as a supplier is the ability for niche and luxury brands to be able to react and adapt to the environment. So with such a challenge of COVID-19, I think the last 18 months we've seen a real diversification, whether that be products, ways of working, or even consumer buyer habits, to review that, work with us and create a solution.
Absolutely. So one of the first things we did with Keepme was to develop a hand sanitizer with them that obviously included our fragrance. We wanted it to be a pump sanitizer so that it was easy for customers to use. They could use it on their hands and also on their belongings, which we thought made it speak to the luxury market a little more. It's been hugely successful. It was something that we used as a gift with purchase to endorse the customers and encourage them to buy online, and also really just to be something that was within the climate that they could to use that would be relevant to them in the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think from our perspective, again, our new product development team looked at what the buying habits and the trends would be, and they foresaw as much as they could what would be happening. So certainly an increase in online purchases. The home fragrance category for us has kind of exploded. You know, the number of new brands are approaching us, the number of existing brands are extending their core lines. I think what we always pride ourselves on, what we've done well is we've been reactive. We've changed our supply chain slightly, not necessarily with Bodicea the Victorious in this instance, but product coming out of the Far East. There was a severe supply shortage of raw materials. There was a complete hike in the amount of PPE required, freight issues coming in from the Far East. So it's actually accelerated some of the work we've been doing in the background over the last few years to bring in more domestic suppliers of raw materials, look to Eastern Europe, and actually diversify our supply chain.
I think that's been one of the positives to have come out of COVID, though, in a way, is that we've all had to get our running shoes on a little bit. And the things that we had perhaps lurking in the background of our business development, we've actually had to push forward. So you're just talking about supply chain, new ways of working. Well, for us, we were always thinking of doing the home fragrances. And we had started the development with you, but really it was a way of expediting this so that we could have it ready and waiting for the customer who was more at home and he wanted to be surrounded by a magnificent fragrance and transported to a different place in time. And I think, yeah, you really helped us to achieve that goal.
That's good to hear. So I think what we've seen as well is a need, much like Charlotte says, to reduce lead times. A flexible supply chain allows that. We looked at, we kind of tried to think outside the box on this. So, do we over-order replenishment stock? Yes, we did that. That was a necessity. Do we look at stock bottles? What can we get? Because almost always with new product development, one of the longest parts of this is the development of samples, PR material, all of that stuff. We understand the commercial needs of the brand. They need to get the product out there, whether it be to the end user or to retailers. And for us, we looked at being adaptable and flexible. We didn't stand still, I think is what I'm trying to say.
Absolutely. And I think, again, that's why the relationship with Keepme has been so successful and has sort of stood the test of times, because they're always thinking ahead for the brand as much as they are for themselves and their own business interests. Because, as you say, Neil, one really does inform the other, which is why the relationship has been fruitful for us both, even in the time of crisis.
Most certainly. And I think for us, a major concern we had going back to March last year was, amongst others, was the fragrance category itself. Traditionally, the fragrance end user or consumer will buy in store. It's all about the experience, especially a niche or a luxury brand. Very few people previously would go online, order something brand new without actually experiencing it. I know Bodicea has prided itself in the past and historically on being able to educate the consumers, and that's why they have such a loyal customer base. I think for me, I'm quite keen to understand the challenges you faced and how you overcame them.
Well, I think you're quite right. We have been very fortunate that we do have a loyal customer base. And I think a lot of that is down to the education, as you called it, that in-store experience, the consultative experience that people have when they speak to our sales representatives and those knowledgeable experts that really do know everything about the marvellous fragrances that we do have for us here at Bodicea. So for us, the challenge was to keep those customers, keep them engaged, keep them coming back either for that same product or to continue to develop that newness, that they have something new to entice them, and to enable them to really have faith that that product is going to be as good as the last one that they bought, even though they haven't smelt it in store or had that experience with the sales associate. So we developed the online store, which we did really rather quickly because people missing that face-to-face interaction. Made it no appointment, so it's literally click a button on the website, the person comes in as if they're coming into the shop, greeted by that helpful expert, ready to discover and explore the range of fragrances that we have and to have that conversation. Since then, we've relaunched our website and we've got Fragrance Finder tool, which again is a great asset for people to be able to find what they're looking for. We have a huge breadth of fragrances, as you know, and really it's making sure that the customer is happy and that they have the right one, because we believe that because of the quality of our product, much thanks to you, they will be coming back for more.
Absolutely. I suppose from all of that, sitting here with my supplier hats on, it's important that we aren't blind to that. And I think what's been great about certainly the relationship with you guys and a number of other our larger customers, we've worked openly with them. What demands are you seeing? What trends are you seeing? Let's review your demand planning. Is there a product that's suddenly spiking? Do we need to order that? And actually, whereas previously the lead time of products, we might be saying, well, it's a 6-month replenishment lead time. Actually, you need it now, and we need to work out a way of doing that. And getting ahead of the game is what we're all about. The demand planning side of our business is certainly something we've invested in. We probably have more meetings with you now than we have done prior to March last year, because we've recognised the importance of being reactive. We also don't want to be sitting on, you guys don't want to be sitting on massive stock. So
you've also helped us with quicker wins as well. For example, the online obviously was really flourishing. So we wanted to improve the experience of people purchasing online. So again, they get that little bit of luxury when it arrives with them at home. And you helped us with that too, which has been great. And I think the customer appreciates no end.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think for us, we look at niche brands, luxury brands. What have they done so well? And it is that reactive reactivity. And us as a supplier, we like to match up to that. Our strong suit is exactly that. There's a problem for a brand. We are here to find a solution, and whether that be demand planning, whether that be regular meetings, whether that being insightful knowledge from our NPD team of what else is out there in the market. I feel like for all the challenges of the last 18 months, I feel like the relationship strengthened, and also we've been much more open about how we operate.
Yeah, I think people buy from people ultimately, and we have very much enjoyed the relationship that we've been sharing with Keepme, and will continue to do so. I'm quite sure of that, and that's because of the people here and the team. Everybody's very invested. Everybody really wants things to do well, so they understand that it's a two-way street to success, really.
Yeah, and I see us, like I said previously, I see ourselves as an extension of the brand, and that's something that's ingrained into every staff member here. I think the last 18 months, as I said, the challenges we discussed around COVID, but we've also had the freight issues, the raw material supply. Brexit was already a big issue for us prior to COVID striking, and for us, it's about sitting down as a team. There's not masses of us, but like Charlotte's explained, we can sit down, we can make decisions very quickly. Not necessarily applicable to Charlotte and Bodensee and Victorious, but the Trump tariff that was implemented on goods from China to America, we needed to find a solution around that, and we found one very quickly. And that supported a number of the brands that we work with.
I would just say, and that, although obviously that's 100% specifically, but you certainly don't bring us problems, you bring us the solutions. So you might have experienced those problems, but it's something that as a brand we haven't really had to endure. So it's a great benefit to us. Yeah, and certainly something that we pride ourselves on is saying to the brands, you sell your product, we'll do all the hard work in the background, and transparency and communication, really, which I would say you guys are really good at.
Excellent. So I suppose for us, what we did to combat the challenges and assist with the rise of brands such as Bodensee and Victorious, the regular meetings, the off-the-shelf solution to products, moving production, flexible supply chain, being reactive, has all lent itself towards a relatively successful year, and probably more importantly, a real positive outlook on the future. I would totally agree. I think for us, Bodensee, the future is very exciting. What this year has enabled us to do it's challenged us, it's pushed us to do things quicker, technological advancements, really there, and also just to really look at how we can entice new people to the brand, new customers that hopefully can become loyal fans and followers. Excellent. And NPD really is at the heart of everything we do. And for us, the next 2021 and beyond, it's about evolving, it's about investing in our supply chain, investing in the people that work for us, doing everything we can to ensure a successful future, and really working alongside brands like Bodensee. Thank you. Excellent, thank you.